All right. So officially, welcome back to our Thursday yoga practice. It's nice to see so many of you here. It's nice to do this. It's a nice kind of routine I'm starting to establish for myself too. Today we are going to focus on lower body in particular, like muscle tension release. And for that, please equip yourself with a little ball. This is like, I think like a fitness ball, but lacrosse ball or tennis ball will do fine. A pillow or a block, and either a towel or a little blanket, just something you can pad your knees with. All right, and let's just start. Some of you were with me last week when I just started incorporating some more breath work. I'm hoping this class is a half an hour. It might be a couple more minutes, but I'm gonna try to talk less and do more. So we're gonna just start by right away just dropping into some breath work, some silly stuff to relax our face and our jaw, things like that. So first, just on your own, we're gonna just take 2 or 3 rounds of just slowed down breath. Just let yourself be present with your breath. Eyes can come to close. Just begin to breathe a little deeper. Inhale to lift up. And exhale that downward releasing motion. Feel your forehead relax, your cheeks, your jaw. Next, exhale, maybe your shoulders relax. You feel your fingertips heavy on the surface they're resting on. And final exhale, maybe your belly relax. We're not trying to suck anything in here, we're just settling in. If you hear the noises in the outside, I don't know if you can hear them, it's just music from passing cars. Just being in the middle of everything, being in the middle of the sounds, the distractions, the thoughts. You're in it, you're cool, you're not uptight, you're just here, and there's nothing that needs to be different. Melting on those exhales, that downward motion. Great, and you can relax your attention. If you want, you can flicker open your eyes. I'm going to lead us through some just breathing exercises. The first is going to be a deep breath in, and then we're going to kind of like motorboat it out through our lips as best we can, this sort of feeling. We're going to try 3 of those in our own time. So deep inhale through your nose, deeply into your belly. Out through your motorboaty lips. Again, try to elongate those exhales. The vibration is knocking out my earphone. One more time. Really feel that tickly feeling around your lips, bringing awareness. Excellent. Now we're going to sigh it out, but a deep sigh, like you just came home, you know, that classic, you took off your bra and you're like, ugh, like whatever. It could be your pants or your belt, anything. That kind of like, ugh. Let it come from within. So deep inhale through your nose. Sigh it out deeply. Let those shoulders come down. One more like that. Deep sigh. Excellent. Let your breathing return to a normal rhythm. We're going to activate our voices in a slightly different way than last time. Last time we did some little vocal noises. This time we're just going to do kind of a simple chant. I'm not going to use any words. A simple sound. You can opt into this or not. Simply just think of the word, the letters H-O-M, hum. Hum, like I'm humming. We're just going to take a deep breath, hum, and hold out the sound as long as you can, and feel those little vibrations between your teeth, between your lips. We're going to try that 2 times. So you feel free to go with my guidance or just on your own. Deep breath in. Hum. Ready? One more. Hum. And let your breathing just drop in. Notice the connection with your breath now. Now that you've used your breath to make a little bit of noise, you've used it in different ways, pushing it out and pulling it in. Just let it drop back in, restoring you. As you're doing so, we're going to come to our mat or our little yoga space. And we're going to drop right into a hands and knees tabletop position. You can always use your towel underneath your knees at any point to add some support. So if you'd like to just warm up by moving through a couple cat and cows, just inhale to drop the belly, gaze lifts, and then reverse it, pressing everything away. Just in no particular rhythm. Linking it with some breath. Just warming up the spine, just a slight warm up. A little swivel side to side, shake it out. And then we're going to flip the wrists. You can either have your fingers pointing out to the side, or you can continue that semicircle so your fingers are pointing towards your knees and just make little circles with your hips and upper body, stretching out the bottoms of your forearms, pressing your palms into the mat, and just being aware of the intensity and not over pushing. Go in the other direction or make figure eights. Ice skating with my hips. If you'd like, you can send your hips back a little bit. You can tuck your toes if you want. Just really feel into that. Let's just find a place that you can maintain for a couple moments and breathe into those wrists. Excellent. We're going to unwind those wrists, and you can make little fists or very gently place the tops of your hands on the mat and just send your hips back a little bit, just reversing it. Being gentle. If you feel pain, let up a little bit. Just doing a little counter stretch. Excellent. You can shake it out. Wonderful. So we're going to get right into our hero pose. This is the pose I was saying to those of you in the beginning that it looks easy, but it actually, if you're not used to it, is very intense, and it's always intense for me, regardless of how used to it I am. So you're going to take your towel or your blanket, fold it up nicely so you have a little, maybe 2 or 3 inches of a platform. Get your block or pillow ready. And what you're going to do is you're going to place your knees onto that towel or blanket towards the outer edges of your yoga mat, basically a little wider than your hips to begin. You're going to take your pillow or your block, and if you have a block, just snuggle it in between your heels, or pillow, just place it more or less in between your legs. All right. So we have our knees armed, we have this pillow there to receive our booty. And this exercise will stretch the thighs and your ankles, and in particular, the muscles around your knees. So if you have any knee sensitivity, I would either load up on pillows behind you or just pass on this. They can be very, our knees are very precious, so we want to make sure that we support ourselves as much as we can, especially when we're going into a position that emphasizes some knee sensation. So if you're here and you want to just play around with being here, go for it. Otherwise, you can begin to walk your hands back, and you notice that your hips are going to want to fall in between your heels. This is like the pose like a lot of like babies sit in, or like you see like monks, their hips are between their heels as they sit. That's the pose. As you're sending your heels back, you might want to use your thumbs to kind of push the flesh of your calves away to settle onto that pillow, and being mindful always of that knee area and what feels like, okay, I'm just stretching, I feel okay, maybe I feel it in my thighs, and what feels like too much. And too much, you just come forward a little bit. Maybe you sit all the way up. Maybe you're somewhere over here. That's all right. Those of you who this might be in your practice, and perhaps you just have very bendy joints, you can begin to walk your arms behind you, and maybe your forearms come to the ground. I'd like to mention that this is not possible for me without all the supports, so pulling out all my fanciness for all of you. Good. And just find a place where you feel a stretch and take a breath. You can release the pose whenever you need. I'm going to take one more cycle of breath here. On the exhale, you're going to lift if you have to lift your torso, or bring your torso forward using your hands to walk forward, lifting your hips back into a tabletop position, removing any blankets or anything from behind you, under you. And we're going to go return our knees to right underneath our hips, tops of our feet on the ground, just send it back into a little child's pose, walking your hands front. You can rock your forehead side to side, massaging that third eye area. And when you're ready, on an inhale, coming back to tabletop position. Excellent. I'm going to back it up here. Wonderful. So if you're able to use kind of a balance to rise up to a tall kneeling position, otherwise just do your best, the best that you can to get up into this tall kneeling position. If you want to do it slowly, or if you want to take several steps, just meet us in a high kneeling position. Again, a good option to place a towel underneath your knees. I'm going to take an inhale here. My head is getting cut off, but whatever. Inhale here, gaze up to the ceiling, heart opens. And exhale to come back to neutral spine, head over heart, over pelvis. Inhale, gaze lifts, heart opens. And then exhale to come back to a neutral, tall, aligned spine. We're going to lift our left foot and place it in front into a low lunge. So just to prepare, you're going to shift your weight into your right leg and plant that left foot in front of you. Excellent. And we're going to try to squeeze those hips together so we're not opening out, but we're actually aligned to the front of the room. Here, if you have blocks or pillows, you can place your hands on them right here. Otherwise, you can just place your hands or fingertips down. Back foot can either be flat or curled. We're going to move through a couple cycles. Inhale, sending our hips back, front foot flexes, nose reaches towards your knee. And then exhale to send the heart forward in between your shoulders, stretching out through the thigh of the back leg. And whatever feels better, if you want to inhale here or if you'd rather exhale here, and inhale on the opening, whatever you find, just on every breath, take a movement. You might even start noticing a little bit of a roll happening in your spine. So if you inhale back here, on the exhale, maybe the air lifts you up and it pushes out of your body in a little bit of a flow, roll motion. Just moving your own rhythm, maybe 2 more each. Feeling the end points of each stretch. And transitioning right away into the other one. Heart between your shoulders. Excellent. And when you're ready and you feel you've had enough, you can plant those palms. It might be easier to lift up your left foot for a second while you send that left foot back. And just ease back into a child's pose to reset. Taking a deep breath at the bottom here. Letting it fill you all the way to your belly. Let's practice a couple of sighing breaths while we're here. So deep breath in through your nose. Sigh it out deeply. Notice how the pressure of your legs might impact that exhale. One more time. Just let it out onto the floor. Wonderful. And when you are ready, moving back up into our tabletop, opening our legs a little bit, and as best you can, getting up into that tall kneeling position. Inhale, hands to the hips. Heart lifts, gaze lifts, slight back bend in the upper body. And exhale just to release it, nothing fancy here. One more time. Inhale, expand, shine up and out. Deliberate movements, and then exhale. Let it go. When you are ready, you're going to shift your weight into that left leg and step your right foot forward. It's okay to be a little wobbly. We're going to square our hips to the front of the room so we're not kind of peeking up to the side. And just as we did before, if you'd like to put your hands onto supports here to increase length and space, go for that. Otherwise, copy me with the hands on the ground sensation. So when you're ready, Inhale, flexing that foot, nose comes to knee. Knee can stay bent. It certainly does not have to be straight. And on an exhale, planting that foot on the ground, shifting your heart forward and through those shoulder blades. And reversing. Finding your own flow. Take about 2 more cycles in your own breath, in your own flow. And we will meet in our tabletop position. Excellent. Excellent tabletop position. This time, let's open our knees a little wider than our hips. Send our hips back into a wide-legged child's pose. You have an option here with your hands. You can keep them out. You can make them into prayer hands and rest them along your back of your neck for a little shoulder stretch. Anything you'd like. Excellent. Now we're going to move into tabletop, and we're going to come into a frog pose, but not the same one that we did last week with our feet open. This time our frog pose is going to be our feet together. So what you can do is you can start opening your legs a little wider, and you're going to just sort of ease down onto the floor. So essentially you're on your bellies, your knees are wider than your hips. And see how wide you can get those hips. Then you're going to bring those soles of your feet together so they're like clapping. Okay. And eventually you're just going to let gravity do gravity's thing. Eventually your legs are going to move towards the earth. The temptation is going to be to want to press those legs to the earth and lift your belly button off the ground. Try to keep that belly button rooted in and let the feet be wherever they are. If you're feeling actual pain in your hips, try just throwing a pillow underneath so your feet have a place to rest rather than kind of floating in the air. If you find your happy place, it might take a little getting used to. It's certainly a weird one. Your feet can be like all the way in the air. That's absolutely fine. Just take a moment, maybe a pillow or something, and just rest into it. I'm gonna actually remove this because it's making my legs very toasty. And just find a place. You might notice after some time, you might feel it in your hips. You can add support back there whenever you need it, or you can just lift a little bit higher in the air to avoid that sensation. Regard this posture with a sense of relaxation, and even if it's unfamiliar, as something that there's nothing to be intimidated by, because it's your choice how far you want to go. Maybe your eyes can come to close. Just a little longer. Great job. Relaxing on that exhale, like you're breathing out tension. Just let it go. I realized I forgot to hit play on my peace playlist. And when you're ready, carefully lift those feet up in the air. Walk those knees back to the line of your hips. And just do little windshield wiper movements. Just to be like, yo, hips, we're back. Excellent job. Splendid. So some fun stretching for Thursday evening. All right, I am now going to get my ball. So very carefully, make yourself, push yourself gently into a tabletop position. And from here, you can simply cross the ankles and send your hips back. So you're in like a seated crisscross position, or wherever you need to go to get your ball. I'm going to hit play because that's the whole reason I'm wearing this thing. I want to hear some music. Great. So if you're in your seated position and you have a ball, we are going to start first in an upright position. You can actually place your fingers behind behind and outside of your hips to just encourage a little lift in that upper body. Deep inhale just for alignment. Exhale to settle in. So this is where things get a little interesting. If you do not have a ball, I just recommend making little fists and gently adding a little pressure, little punches to the areas that we're working on. If you do have a ball, this might be a little more intense. You're gonna shift your weight onto your right, like essentially butt cheek, and place the ball underneath the left butt cheek. And you might feel that like sits bone pressing in. Try to keep the ball on the outside region of that bone if you feel that bony area. Using your right foot to kind of lift you, just begin to massage that glute. Oh yeah. You are in control of the sensation, and you can even go a little bit on the edge there, that side, right there. Good, and just take a couple moments and find the tense points and see if you can massage them out. It takes a little getting used to the rocking sensation, but use your feet to lift you off the ground if you need. Good. And again, the ball is not going like towards the middle of your body, it's more on the outside of that sits bone. Good. Maybe we shift a little more to the left, get that nice side roll going. Oh yeah. Excellent. Take it for a few more moments, really feel into that. You can make little circles, go back and forth, side to side. Excellent. And then we're gonna shift back onto the left side, take that ball, onto the right side. Take the ball and we're gonna slide it down our leg, into like the middle of that hamstring area. I'm gonna bend that right foot, right knee, place the foot on the ground, and just give yourself enough lift that you might be able to kind of glide over that ball. Hamstring, I find the toughest to do this with because your calf likes to hit the ground, your butt likes to hit the ground, but just see if you can find a little, maybe even just side to side motion. Just a little bit of some massage. In fact, if you are doing side to side, notice where you place the ball and periodically change the location. Going side to side, I was like, oh, I feel that. That's what I'm doing. And just make sure that the ball just doesn't go directly behind the knee. That's like sort of a general rule in a lot of physical practices of every kind. So you just want to keep those knees so fresh, so fresh. But if you are not doing the side to side motion, you're kind of just doing some wiggles. Experiment with going onto the side of your leg just a little bit. Maybe you want to add more pressure, so you let your weight down a little bit, but if it's too much, just use your hands and your foot to lift you a little higher. Oh yeah. All right, and then we're going to shift back onto the right side. We are onto the calf. We're going to actually start the calf right above our ankle area. That's right. You can place the sole of the right foot down and just go side to side. Maybe you want to lift up and make a couple circles. Oh yeah. Good. If you were going side to side, same thing. We're going to just walk the ball up the leg, just accessing different parts of the muscle. So I just moved mine right to the part where the calf kind of like indents. Ugh, that always is very sore for me. You find where you are holding tension, being fair to the whole muscle. If you want to lift up a little. Yes. And finally, maybe move it one more place up the calf. Just be mindful of that knee area. Maybe dip your toe a little bit inward and you get that inner calf. I certainly get it. Good. Just feeling it out here. Wonderful. Now we're going to shift back, taking the ball. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So just take a moment. Let's just have like a little awareness moment. Just sitting with your legs extended. They can be bent, heart lifted. Find your alignment. Deep breath in. Eyes closed. Do you notice your legs in any different regard? Do they feel different? Do they feel the same? What changes do you notice, if any? And just make a note. You don't have to describe anything. Just note what you feel. Even just looking, it looks like the left leg that I just stretched, it looks like longer. What if I actually like sort of stretched out some of the tense muscles? And do the same thing. So we're gonna shift onto our left side, place the ball underneath our right glute, trying to keep it on the outside edge of that sits bone, so you have access to all this like lovely juicy muscle, etc. that lives there, and just work through it. It's these muscle groups do a lot of work for us in terms of structure and support, and then in terms of the added things we do like running or jumping or like catching the bus, sitting, reading, laying down in a chair, actually holding our bodies up in that position. So yeah, find what works for you. I'm planting my left foot on the ground so I can get some lift, and also using my palms, pushing up from the earth. Again, if you don't have a ball, just make little fists, shift onto your side, and like give your sits area, your buttocks, some like, I need to stop, some love. Give your tush a little push, and get your roll on. Wonderful. Take a few more moments, explore any region maybe you didn't yet explore. Sounds like ominous when there's like a ball in your butt, but you're in control here. And then shift to your left side, removing the ball. Again, we have options for 3 tiers in our hamstring, so I'm gonna do it on this side. I'm gonna start low and come a little higher. I'm gonna start right above my knee, and I'm gonna flex my foot, my right foot, and just rock back and forth, dipping my toes in and out, just playing with that sensation. Because you are in control of the feeling, you have a lot of room to play here, and you have a lot of opportunity to say no. Also, like you are in charge, so you can just say this feels good, or like I'd rather not, or maybe it only feels good if I point my feet, etc., etc. I'm going to move my ball now up a little higher, using a little lift to get more traction. Good. And even in this, if we can find an attitude of acceptance, an attitude of appreciation for our bodies, for the release that we're generating, it's a good mood to have. See if we can generate some of that positive appreciation for ourselves and for what the care we're taking for ourselves. Eyes can even be closed. Breath always drops in and always moves out. When you're ready, shifting to that left side, bringing the ball right to that juncture where hamstring meets glutes. That's where I always like get injured. So pay extra close attention. Moving nice and slow. Looking at my screen, it looks like I don't even have a ball here. It just looks like my leg is sort of like hovering. A few more moments, just a few, maybe another breath or two. Let the breath cleanse you as the tension releases from your muscles. When you're ready, let's move that ball to just above the ankle, kind of just above that Achilles area. And you can even play with pointing and flexing your feet here. It's just all about you and the tension you want to create. Now, some people are a glutton for glutton for sensation, and they actually stack the other leg on top. I don't know. This one like doesn't really do it for me. But if you want to, and you can really figure out the balance, go for it. Some people like to do it when the ball is like at a really tight point, and they're just like, oh yeah, let's just not even move and just sink into this. These are the options. And options are limitless. So find what you like, find what challenges you, but also benefits you. Begin to move that ball up a little bit higher into that meaty portion of your calf. Oh, I'm turning my toes in. That always gets me. I don't even know. You know, you think a calf is a calf is a calf, but like parts of your calf work for one thing, other parts of your calf work for other things, and you don't even know like why certain parts are hurting. It's just an amazingly complicated, delightful body that we have. And when you're ready, moving into its final destination, mine is just below the knee. Yours can be wherever. Maybe you add some lift. Maybe you add that second foot just to be one of those people that loves that. Whew. The music in my ear is like a soft, like woodwind or like wood, yeah, like this little woodwind like pipe, like a little think of like a flute but very deep sounding. And I feel like it's just very contradictory to the sensations in my body. It sounds like running water, and my legs are like fire. It's a nice contrast though. And when you're ready, lean to the left side one final time, removing the ball. And now just to be fair, just checking the time. Okay, I'm totally late, sorry. We're almost done. But to be fair, let's work out a little bit of our shoulders and low back. Just the two, nothing too fancy. So here, this can create a lot of sensation, so be mindful. We're gonna place the ball like right above your hips on the right side. Find a little like fleshy portion on the right side. And just place the ball there, like just above your tailbone and to the right. We're going for like a low back release. So find a spot, roll onto the ball. Oh gosh, oh man, and all the sun just came out. And if you are on the right side, we're gonna carefully lift the right knee. Ooh, you might feel that right kind of lower back area kind of smush into the ball. Here you can make little circles with your knee, moving nice and slowly, playing with how big and small the circles are. Just releasing that tension. You're not going to be here for long, so just play around. You know, just find a spot that you're like, okay, I feel that, and just commit to that for now. Ooh. And you can place your foot down. You can also do these two at a time, 2 tennis balls, one under each side. I'm going to remove it from the right side and just carefully place it in the same position on the left. Again, we're above our hips. We're above the tailbone on the left side, so we're not hitting that spine. Find a little fleshy area so you're not like bone into ball. And then settle back down, shoulder blades onto the earth if that feels okay. And then as you're comfortable lifting that left knee, bringing it around into some circles. Oh yeah. I literally feel the sun like coating my body. Which is nice also. Try to just change the angle. Good, and maybe reverse the circles you were making. Woo. Take one more breath. Breathe into it at its most intense. And then roll over, release the ball. Using your arms to help you come back to a seating position. We're moving into our final exercise for the ball stretches. We're going to place this one at our trapezius, essentially where our shoulders meet our neck and on our back. So we're not hitting the scapula, the bone. We're not hitting the spine, the bone. You can even reach your hand back there, finding like that muscle when people give you a massage, that like sweet spot. That is where our lovely ball is going to go. Just guide yourself gently down. Knees can be up Or you can extend them out wherever you're most comfortable and just play around for a second and find a place that feels like, oh yeah, that's the spot. Hopefully we have that. I mean, hopefully not, because that means we're totally relaxed. But if we're not totally relaxed people walking through the earth as just breath itself, then perhaps it feels it's a nice alternative to have a spot that at least releases. Once you find it, you can inhale, lifting your right arm up, thumb pointing to the back, and just take a moment here. Notice what you notice. Notice how breathing affects the sensation. Very slowly, like I'm moving like so slowly. You're gonna make circles with your arms if you so choose. Nice big circles in both directions, maybe 2 in each direction. No particular form in the arms, just play around with what feels, in what feels like something. You know, if you're not feeling anything, maybe make some adjustments. Maybe reverse the circle. Maybe your eyes close and you can just breathe into that spot. There's nothing more meditative than finding that spot, that home base that we become enraptured with, even for a moment. Oh, mine is right here. That's it. When you are ready, using your opposite hand, carefully reach over, remove the ball. You can do any little shakes you need. And then I usually use the right hand to place it under my left shoulder area. Again, in that fleshy part of our trap. So it's on our backs, but not on our spinal cord, not on that flat shoulder blade area. Right where someone wants to give you that good massage and you're like, oh yes. Some people hate massages, but at least you probably understand from people attempting to give you massages that that's the spot. But this one is a massage you give yourself, and maybe that's a little bit more of a trusting environment. Maybe that's something that you can find more comfort in. When you are ready, you know where to go. Lifting your left hand up, breathing here. When you're ready, bringing it around. Some slow and big circles. Eyes can close, whatever you want. I like to imagine I'm swimming like in like the Riviera, like the Italian Riviera or something, or French Riviera. Pick a Riviera, and you're just swimming under the sun, and there's like a coastline of colorful houses and the hum of activity. But you can't really hear it because your ears are a little underwater, and everything's just a little muted, and you feel the sun on your face, and you are the perfect temperature. Maybe you reverse the circle. Notice if this side feels any different from the last side. You know, is this one like, oh wow, this one feels more intense, or is this one a little more forgiving? When you are ready, find just a breath in a place that you feel sensation. So mine is with my arm up overhead. And then exhale, returning that left arm down to your side, using your right arm not only to reach for the ball, but give yourself a pat on the shoulder. That doesn't always feel relaxing until you release the ball. Reach your arms up overhead, legs long out, stretching in both directions, get nice and long. And then exhale to open those legs wide, let those feet drop to the sides, let those arms just flop down, kind of like little angel wings or something, like a snow angel, and let those palms rest either up in a gesture of receiving or down in a gesture of grounding, yogi's choice. Return to that home base, return either to that breath The breath at the beginning of the nostrils or at the back of the throat, or the chest, or even the belly. Or maybe your home base is a sound that you hear, the hum of the fridge or a vent. Or maybe it's just the heat you feel in your hands. Just find a place that you can focus your attention to and just commit to it. It's not forever, it's just for a few moments, and just let that be your home base for the remainder of our practice. Letting your exhale be that downward motion. When your thoughts take on their own mind, their own mind, or their own, I don't even know. They take on a mind of their own. When your thoughts inevitably think and jump around, you acknowledge that's exactly normal and to be expected, and then return to the home base. Each return being a little bench press for our focus. That's it, just a few more moments. And now just let your mind relax. Let it drift. Let it do what it wants. Excellent. I welcome you to stay here as long as you can. I'm going to just bring my hands to my forehead in a prayer position, just in a gesture of honoring and thanking you for coming to class. I really appreciate it. I hope you can take some of what we learned today and you can do it on your own. And I hope that it facilitates your own well-being as it does mine. So I offer you namaste today, and thank you very much for joining us. Oh, yeah.